Wanted to make this video to show you how to attach this buttonhole attachment onto your industrial machine. I got this one from wawak, if that's how you say it, W-A-W-A-K, W-A-W-A-K .ca. There's an American website too, so I'm putting this on my Juhi industrial. It's a DDL 555, pretty standard industrial machine. When I went to put this buttonholer on yesterday after I got it, I couldn't find that many instructions online, so I thought I would make one. Or at least they weren't as focused and detailed as I wanted them to be. So the first important thing is you should have 2 screw holes in the top of your machine like this. Now, I suspect that these holes had never been used on my machine, and that probably the hardest thing was actually the threading was really messed up, so I had to kind of create my own threading. I think, you know, if I had, it needs to be tapped basically. It needs the new screw threads put in it, but I just kind of muscled it in there. Your mileage may vary. Anyway, so I'm just going to take out the bobbin thread. Okay, so the first thing is you have this part, which is a feed dog cover. So you'll notice I have put a piece of leather in here because I needed a washer, but I don't have one. It's because I can't screw it down deep enough into this hole here. So you center this over the top of the hole that your needle usually goes down into and screw it in. Oops. This is actually the hardest bit, I have to say. A shorter screwdriver would be good. It's not going in straight because I don't have a short screwdriver. Anyway, you'll see my my solution for this in a second. Anyway, so you just have to then make sure that it is. If you look down this slot, make sure that it is centered on top of where the needle is going to go down. Mine is not. So I'm doing this in real time because I think you need to see it for real. Okay, now I can't get it to screw down really deeply into my machine, so this is the solution I came up with. Just making sure that the needle plate is really well centered over that hole. So yeah, tape it down, or maybe yours will actually go down properly because your screw hole will go in there. The next thing you need to do is you need to take off this collar that holds your needle into place. So I've already taken the needle out. Take the screw all the way out, and then you can just pull this collar off. It might need a little bit of encouragement with a screwdriver. Mine was okay. There's a little slot in the back of it, so it does kind of expand and contract, so you can give it a bit of muscle and it's not going to really hurt it. So the buttonholer comes with this. So this is just a replacement needle, I don't know, collar, clamp thing. There's a hole in the side of your needle bar here. So you'll slide this on, slide this, and then screw this in. You screw it in so that it goes into that hole. And then you can use that to put your your needle in. I think, so I've just left that on actually. I just put the old one back on to show you how it works. It's pretty convenient actually, but you need to have this because part of the buttonhole actually sits on top of this screw here. The other handy thing that they provide in the box is a replacement to the screw that holds on your presser foot. They give you this. So this is actually really convenient, and I'm going to leave that on there too because instead of getting a screwdriver out every single time I need it, I can use this. But we don't need that on there just yet. So here is the Marvelous Beast. It's pretty heavy actually. It's crazy. So it's got a more adjustability than one of the domestic buttonholers, which to be honest I haven't actually used before, but I believe they have cams that you put in to adjust the length of your buttonhole. So this screw here just goes up and down, and that controls how long your buttonhole is. So the really nice thing about this is that once you have it set up to the buttonhole that you want, it will make a consistent length buttonhole. Like you could make a whole shirt with buttonholes that are the same length. This adjustment here controls the distance between the two beads of the buttonhole. It's marked cutting space, so it's basically where you're going to cut the buttonhole. I have that set fairly wide. This one is the depth of the stitch, so it's basically how thick you want that bead to be. And then this one's really important actually. On the other side, there's this black screw. So looking at it from above, this black screw here. This took me ages to figure out what I needed to use it, but I didn't know I needed to use it. So what this does is it actually controls how close together your stitches are. So like your stitch length, essentially. I was trying to do it on my machine, but actually it's this screw here. So to put it on, you have to take the screw all the way off the needle bar. Sorry, the presser foot control bar or whatever it's called. You're gonna put it on there, but then there's a lever here that needs to sit on top of the new screw that we just put in for the needle clamp. So I'm just going to use this screw to attach. Okay. So that's how that works. I'm gonna put my bobbin in and get some fabric and show you how it performs. Okay, so I've got everything set up. I've got my needle threaded. This screw over here on the right hand side actually controls where the buttonhole is in its cycle. So you can kind of turn it and you'll see it go through a full cycle. So I'm going to take it so it's just rounding the corner at the back end. I'm going to put my fabric underneath. And I'm just going to place my needle in for the first one with a hand crank, and then sew. So that's the side that's the side that was uppermost, and then this is the side that was actually further, like the one that was underneath. I think that one actually is a nicer buttonhole. You can actually go over it twice, so let's see what that looks like. So that's a pretty nice buttonhole on that side. What's it like on this side? Really nice on that side too. So, you know, on anything heavier, I'd probably do the double buttonhole. It's fairly stiff. There's no interfacing in this. It's just 2 layers of shirting, heavier shirting weight fabric. Obviously, it'd be better with some interfacing in there. Also, the needle I'm using is probably a little bit too thick for this fabric. But anyway, I hope that's really helped you think about this industrial buttonholer. Really like it. I like that I can use my industrial for buttonholes, so if I'm going through thick things, obviously it's not going to be a problem like it would be using a domestic. So hope that helped. Bye.